All right. Ever think about PDFs? They're everywhere, and for good reason. Today we're doing a deep dive into the world of PDFs, and to help us, we've got the insights of senior technical writer Curt Robbins.
Yeah, and this guy Robbins, he's worked with some pretty big names. I'm talking FedEx, Microsoft, Nationwide Insurance, you name it. He really knows his stuff when it comes to PDFs.
That's impressive. So let's get right to it. Why are PDFs so popular in the first place? What are their strengths?
Well, one of the biggest things is PDFs are universal. Like, you can open a PDF on almost anything, your computer, your phone, whatever, and it looks exactly the same. No more messed up fonts or missing images.
It's like they speak a universal language, huh?
Exactly. And that's especially important for things like, I don't know, technical documents. Think user manuals, design specs, where you really need things to be accurate.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's not just how they look, right? Oh, PDFs keep all that formatting locked in, too.
Right. Think about complex layouts. You got tables, charts, high-resolution images, PDFs, keep it all in place. Everyone sees it exactly as it was created.
Oh, yeah. That's essential,
Wow.
especially in fields like engineering or finance. Precision is key.
Absolutely. And then there's security. PDFs have a reputation for being pretty darn secure.
Yeah, that's true. Like a digital vault for your important documents.
Exactly. You've got passwords, encryption, even digital signatures, all to keep that information safe and sound.
Yeah.
Especially these days, right?
Yeah, with all the data breaches and leaks happening, you really need that extra layer of protection. So we've got consistency, preserved formatting, security. What else makes PDFs so great?
Well, they're not just static pages anymore. You can add all kinds of stuff, audio, video, even make them interactive with fillable forms and links.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like they come to life.
Right. Think about training manuals with embedded video tutorials or product brochures with links to more information online.
Super cool. And I understand there's a special kind of PDF designed for archiving.
You're thinking of PDFA. That stands for PD archiving. This ensures long-term document preservation. No worries about stuff changing over time. Perfect for those really important records.
It's like a digital time capsule. Okay, so we've seen the awesome stuff about PDFs, but are there any downsides?
Okay, so they're great for presenting information, but when it comes to editing, things can get a little tricky.
So if I need to update a PDF often, maybe not the best choice then.
Right. There are tools for editing, but it's not as easy as working with, say, a Word document.
Makes sense. And all those multimedia features we talked about, I bet they make those files pretty big.
Yeah, they can. High-resolution images and videos, they add up. And that can be a problem when you're trying to share those files. Email, cloud storage, they all have limits.
Right, so finding that balance between visual appeal and file size is key. What else should we be mindful of when working with PDFs?
Accessibility is a big one.
Hmm.
It's easy to forget about making sure everyone can access the information, regardless of any disability.
That's crucial. You're talking about things like screen readers for the visually impaired, right?
Exactly. PDFs can be made accessible, but it takes a little extra effort. Things like alternative text for images, proper headings, logical reading order, it all matters, especially if you need to meet those accessibility guidelines.
Like building ramps in the digital world. So important. Now, I know PDFs aren't known for their collaborative side, are they?
That's true. Unlike those platforms where everyone can edit at the same time, PDFs are more about sharing finished work.
Makes sense. So maybe not the ideal format if you're constantly working back and forth with a team.
Yeah, for that kind of workflow, there might be better options out there.
All right, we've covered the pros and cons. Yeah, sounds like PDFs have their place, but you got to use them strategically. Now, what about the tools themselves? There's a ton of PDF software out there.
There really is. And choosing the right tool can make a huge difference.
Okay, so let's start with the big one. Adobe Acrobat, the one everyone knows. What's the deal with that?
That's the industry standard. It can do it all, from basic stuff like viewing and editing to the more advanced stuff like creating interactive forms. And it's known for its top-notch security.
But it comes with a pretty hefty price tag, right?
It does. Not the most budget-friendly option. But for some, that level of power and security is worth the investment.
So what are some good alternatives for those of us who may not need all the bells and whistles or just have a tighter budget?
Well, Foxit and Nitro are both really popular.
Oh, I've heard of those. What makes them stand out?
They offer a really good mix of features and affordability. They can do a lot of what Adobe Acrobat can do.
So they're a happy medium.
Exactly. If you don't need the absolute top-of-the-line features, those are great options.
For those of us living in the Microsoft world, anything that plays nice with Microsoft Office.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Microsoft Word itself can create and edit PDFs.
Seriously? That's super convenient.
Right. So if you're already comfortable in Word, you don't have to learn a whole new program.
Perfect. Now, I know there are online tools too, right? Anything you'd recommend?
Canva. It's not just for design anymore. People are using it to create some really nice looking PDFs.
Yeah, I love Canva.
It's super user-friendly, and it's great for making visually impactful stuff like marketing materials or brochures.
So it's like design meets document creation. That's awesome. So we've got a whole spectrum of tools then, from the high-end Adobe Acrobat to more affordable options like Foxit and Nitro, to stuff built right into Word, and even online platforms like Canva. Sounds like there's a PDF tool out there for everyone.
Absolutely. And just like we talked about before, choosing the right tool depends on what you need it to do.
So we've talked pros and cons, tools. Now, let's see how this all works in the real world. How are PDFs actually being used out there?
Well, think about those user manuals you always get, when you're trying to put together furniture or figure out a new gadget. PDFs make those manuals accessible to everyone.
Yeah, no more squinting at tiny print. And businesses use PDFs a lot for important documents too, right?
Oh, tons. Contracts, policy documents, financial reports, you name it. Anything that needs to stay consistent and tamper-proof.
And those fields where visual clarity is super important in engineering,
Yeah.
architecture PDFs are a must there.
Absolutely. They can handle complex layouts, drawings, technical specs. It's essential for those industries.
And with all that multimedia stuff we talked about, training materials have gotten a serious upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Now you can embed video tutorials, quizzes, simulations. It's a whole new way to learn.
So PDFs are everywhere, from those basic user manuals to those complex technical documents and everything in between. They're incredibly versatile. But with all the new technologies popping up, cloud collaboration, real-time editing, what do you think the future holds for PDFs?
That's a great question. It's something a lot of people are wondering.
Do you think PDFs will become a thing of the past? Or will they adapt?
I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. They're just too ingrained in how we work. I mean, they offer a level of consistency, security, portability that's hard to beat.
That's true. But to stay relevant, they'll probably need to evolve a bit, right?
Definitely. We're already seeing PDFs becoming more interactive, accessible, and even collaborative.
So maybe we'll see more solutions that combine the reliability of a PDF with the power of those newer technologies.
It's definitely possible, and I think it'll be exciting to see what kinds of innovations emerge. PDFs have proven their worth over time, and I think there's still a lot of potential for them to grow and adapt.
I agree. It's a fascinating topic, and it's clear that PDFs are a vital part of our digital world. They're not just static documents anymore. They're dynamic and constantly evolving.
Absolutely. And I think the key takeaway here is that PDFs are tools. Like any tool, they work best when used thoughtfully and strategically. Knowing their strengths and limitations is crucial for getting the most out of them.
Well said.
PDFs capture and share information in a reliable way, making sure it looks the same everywhere, every time.
Like a universal translator for documents.
Perfect analogy. And that's something Curt Robbins really emphasizes. He's seen how PDFs have made things smoother in all kinds of industries.
And speaking of working together, I'm curious about how PDFs are being used with these newer technologies.
Yeah.
Like cloud platforms and those real-time editing tools.
Oh, we're definitely seeing some cool combinations pop up, like platforms that let you embed PDFs into shared workspaces so teams can view, annotate, discuss all in one place.
So it's like the best of both worlds. You get the solid reliability of a PDF, but also that dynamic collaboration stuff.
Exactly. And I think this is just the start. As technology keeps advancing, we're going to see even more creative ways to use PDFs.
PDFs are powerful, but they're not a magic solution for everything.
For sure. The more you know about them, their strengths, their limitations, the tools out there, the more effectively you can use them to communicate, collaborate, and preserve information.
A massive thank you to Curt Robbins for lending his expertise. His insights have been so valuable in exploring the world of PDFs and their impact on our digital lives. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've come away with a new appreciation for the humble PDF and a better understanding of how it can be used effectively in your own work and life.